Got an ice builder with a leak. Got the unit working, looks on the tank, that's coming down, it was 12, so that when we turn it took a degree out nearly. And then in here, still has about 5 psi in there, so I'm hoping it's not got any water in there, so we're going to drain the water out and cut it open, see if it's dry inside. If it is, braise it up, gas it up, and job's a good one. If not, it's time for a new one. Okay, just getting to that level now. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pipe down. Probably drop that down to the next row below it. Just cut through there, and it's a load of milky water's come flying out, so no, it's no good. Right, we've decided to pipe, well, disconnect that coil in the ice builder is in 2 halves, so we've disconnected the half that had the leak in it, brazed up the feed to it, just pressure tested the nitrogen to check our brazing for leaks. We took a sight blast out and was rusty down there. The liquid line seemed bone dry. Well, as dry as it's going to be, you know, considering what the system had water in it, in part of the system. When we brazed up the suction connection from the leaky coil, there was a few spitting sort of sounds, which is what you get when you've got oil and water sort of mixed together. So I don't know if that got blown in there when I was cutting the pipe, because it still had a bit of nitrogen in there, or whether it's... The LP cuts out about 10 psi, so it should never have had water in there for the compressor to have circulated. So we're hoping we haven't pulled water around the rest of the system. And the expansion valves and the suction line is above, where it's teed in, is above the water level. So even if you filled one coil up, it shouldn't get into the other one, other than by evaporation and condensing. Anyway, that's where we're at. It's shit or bust really. He's going to struggle otherwise, because only half the tank is working, so he's now down to 50% tank and 50% ice builder. Well, if we can get him 75% ice builder and 50% tank, it might tide him over until we get some new equipment ordered. Anyway, going to put the vacuum pump on that. Hopefully the oil doesn't go too milky. I got the vac gauge in a minute, but I'm just going to pack my brazier and stuff away, because it must be getting late now. It's 8:10, and I've got about a 2-hour drive home from here. So it's starting the hottest days of the year. It's been sort of 23, 25, I think it's 28 today. It's supposed to be 30 something tomorrow. So trying to keep ahead of all the jobs really. Okay, it's still wet, it's not getting under 1500. We're going to knock this on the head, I think. We had a bit of a chat with the customer and come to the conclusion he's got only half of the tank works, because one half of the tank's got a leak in it, and now one half of the ice builder's got a leak in it. So this system was already disconnected from the tank, and now the ice builder is leaky as well. So I'm going to come back tomorrow and just connect this onto the other coil in the ice builder and disconnect the other unit from the ice builder. So this can run 24 hours a day to make ice, and the other one can run 24 hours a day to make to cool milk in the tank. That is as much cooling as we can get out of the equipment he's got, but I'm going to have to come back and swap the pipework over tomorrow. I'll have to pick, well, it's too late anyway to come in. What time is it now? 9 o'clock, 10 past 9. Yeah, I've got to get some more oxygen for the oxy kit, and I'm too tired. Because it's not just pipe work, it's you've got to sort out all the wiring as well. I have to rewire it, so this will only run on the ice builder, and the other one will only run on the tank. So it's not as simple as just swapping a couple of pipes. And I'd have to shut the other system down to do it, and at the moment he needs it running to cool his milk. So time to knock it on the head, I think. But it's worth a try, I think, because if it had worked we would have been away. Anyway, enough whittering. Okay, so I've got the pipework swapped over and joined up. So this is now connected to a good circuit in the ice builder, and that was only connected to the tank. Anyway, we've let it on back while I've had lunch, and it was down to 4,000. It's just creeping up. It's gone up to nearly 5, 8, 6 while I've been draining the oil out, which doesn't look too bad. That actually, with the weather being hot, that's run so hot, we've left the ballast open. It's actually dried a lot of that moisture out, I think. Anyway, we'll get some fresh oil in there. See how good a vacuum we can get, and if we get a really good vacuum we might change the dryer, but I don't think there's a lot of point putting a new dryer in there and then sucking a load of moisture through it, because it's probably just going to fill it up with moisture before we've started. Yeah, see, that's only up to 7,000, and the time it's taken to fill that back up again. 28k. So we should be boiling off at water at 6 degrees, and it's in the high 20s, literally 30s, 34 degrees up here. That's hotter because it's the pump's red hot. So I don't think we've got a lot of moisture left in there. Based on that, I think if we had more moisture in the system, it would be raising up to the vapour pressure of, what do you call it? You know, basically the moisture would boil off until it raised the pressure up to the point where it won't boil anymore, whatever that would be, 15,000 microns, 30,000 microns or whatever. If it kept rising up, that would indicate a leak. If it rises up and stops, that can indicate moisture, but it's not really ramping away now. So let's open that back up. Give it a bit more of a run. It's down to 1500 with the pump running. Oh, shut the pump off. See what it goes up to. That oil's staying looking good. Fingers crossed. Okay, that's been valved off probably for half an hour, so we come up to 5,500. So I think we're probably good. But we'll stick it on back on for another half an hour or so. Whew. Have to climb up that hole there. Okay, we've took the big blue hose off and just switched back to the manifold, and we're down to 120. It's going to shoot up, but I think we're hopefully doing well. We were borrowing power from that pump to run our light bulb, but obviously either that pump's a bit earthy. We were running off an RCD, I wasn't too happy. Anyway, at least we've got a torch up here. We've got about 2.5 kilos in, 2.8 kilos. Just kept running. I think we're a bit good, let it run for a couple of days. We can come back, change the oil, put a new dryer in it and just check it all over. Assuming we don't have any problems in the meantime. Yeah, that sight glass actually looks green to me. It was quite oil stained before, but now there's a... We'll get to see better when it's full up. Difficult to tell. If it's really wet, they still go sort of yellowy white because the water washes all the colour out. So far it's looking good. That's 4.5 kilos in. I think we're just on vapor now. Got another bottle. Well, so much for that dryer being okay until we got back. I'd say that was well and truly blocked. Yeah, let's get a new one braced in.